Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Ox, here on the show tonight. It's Bridgeman and the one and only Southside. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, Ox. Evening, Bridgeman. And good evening to everyone listening in this evening.
Now, can I just say a massive big good evening to you two guys, particularly Southside, because he's going to be my partner out. And a massive good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. By the way, I've got a croaky throat, and that's the last Wednesday or Thursday we were watching that Aberdeen game. Nearly killed me. Anyway, I'm okay now.
If you go on mute, I'll give you a shout about 5 to 10.
No chance.
How are you, Southside?
Aye, champion, mate, aye. You had a good weekend,
Aye, good weekend, interesting weekend. But here's a plan. I think we'll hear for review for the Bridge if he passes the fitness test, and then we'll get your thoughts Southside, and then we'll open the phone lines. How's that sound?
Aye, brilliant, mate. Hopefully we'll get a lot of people phoning in tonight. Good chat.
You all right with that, Bridge?
Aye, cool, pal. Go for it.
TCP. If you're in the tune, remember TCP. What you need is somebody's nearly passed their first aid test to sort you out. But never mind. Let's hear a view from the Bridge.
View from the Bridge. Can't take anymore. View from the Bridge. Can't take anymore.
Well, good evening and welcome everybody to a View from the Bridge. Motherwell versus Rangers on Sunday the 31st of October 2021. SPFL Premier Game. Happy 30th birthday to Tav today. On Sunday that was. Rangers were sincerely welcome to Motherwell's Fir Park, as you can imagine. Just like the Well fans banner said, Happy Halloween, you zombie, you know what's. Disgraceful words in a banner about our team. Hopefully some action will be taken by the authorities. I would suggest a huge fine for Motherwell. If nothing happens, then it will be open season on us. The game, we started the game very well and with a good tempo. And we started camping a wee bit in their half. They got in their half a couple of times, but nothing too much. But obviously, this good feeling didn't last too long. On 12 minutes, the Motherwell defender, Mugabe, had a really long high ball down the middle. And I don't think Tav and Golson knew which one was going to go for it. And eventually, quite late, by the way, Golson got wet for it and headed the ball, thinking he was heading it back to the goalkeeper, but he was probably 5 or 6 yards wide of the goalkeeper, and he went for a corner. And then they messed about. I don't know what they were arguing about, but eventually they took a short corner, and the ball came in to the left, and what can you say? Goss hit a beautiful cross in, and the boy Johansson managed to get a good header on it, and it was hit. Saved down the right-hand post by a goalkeeper, but he couldn't actually hold it. And the ball broke out, and Mugabe was there first and got it in, scored at a very narrow angle. 1-0 against us. I thought it was a repeat of everything else. However, that was poor concentration by Rangers there. Poor chance to give away, mountain to climb now. However, Rangers took up the challenge and went on the attack immediately. We were playing well and getting some good shots in, which were saved by Kelly or were blocked by the defence. Most of the football was being played inside the Motherwell half, and we were good. After 30 minutes, it looked like Rangers are a lot sharper, and we've been for a long time, and particularly the last few matches. In 32 minutes, Morelos picks the ball up just 5 yards inside the Motherwell half and runs for about 30 yards and gets in a great shot, which was tipped over the bar by Kelly. Hard lines, Alfie. We're putting a lot of pressure on Motherwell. It's a pleasure to see. Just a wee bit of luck needed and we'll score. Tony Watt is showing his full repertoire of footballing dives. Quite incredible. In 42 minutes, after some great passing and interchanges, the ball comes to Bassi on the left, who drives a high cross over to Tav, who meets the ball on the volley and smashes it into the net at the far corner. Fabulous. Wow. What a goal for Rangers. 1-1. We're looking good. Looks like we're on a fire. Looks like we're on fire the way we're playing. Tav has come alive in this game, and it's great to see him back. Unplayable. On 45 minutes, a lovely crossfield pass from Kamara. Inside the half, finds Tav on the right, and he charges on unchallenged and gets in a great cross into the middle of the ball. And the well defence didn't know what to do, and Sakala out jumps every one of them and headed the ball with a stunning header past Kelly, who was well beaten into the net. Well, a fantastic team goal there. 2-1 for the Rangers. And at half time, it was 2-1 for us. Second half, we continued in the same venue when we were finished the first outstanding play from all of our players today, playing like a team. In 62 minutes, Rangers playing down the left. A nice pass from Kamara to Sakala, who drives inside along the 18-yard line, and he has a great shot, which takes a slight deflection and into the net. 3-1 for us. At 67 minutes, Motherwell captain O'Donnell brings down Bassey, a poor tackle, second yellow card, and eventually a red. No arguments at all. Poor play by O'Donnell, red card deserved. Motherwell committing a lot of fouls now. In 75 minutes, Kamara picks up the ball from Tav just outside the box on the left, and he has a shot which goes into the bottom left-hand corner. Magic for Kamara. 4-1 to us. For 85 minutes, a lovely pass through to Sakala from Davis. And he puts the ball into the net. Wonderful, wonderful goal. He beats the goalkeeper for speed. 5-1 to the Famous. On 91 minutes, a corner from the right was met by Simpson, and it's helped into the net by Roof. 6-1 to Rangers. Full time, 6-1. Player ratings: McGregor 7, Tavernier 8, Goldson 7, Valiant 7, Bassey 7, Arthur 7, Davis 8, Kamara 7, Aribo 7, Morelos 7, Sakala 9. Man of the match, Sakala, obviously got a hat trick and played really well, and a lovely big smile on his face. Followed closely by Davis and Tava. I have to say, so Stephen Davis put on a masterclass in midfield, and so did Tava right back. Just fantastic. Great players for us today. Stats: possession 33% for the Motherwell, 67% for Rangers. Total shots: Motherwell 3, Rangers 30. Shots on target: Motherwell 2, Rangers 12. Corners 2, Motherwell 2, Rangers 12. Fouls 12 for Motherwell and 10 for Rangers. And this is the end of A View from the Bridge.
View from the bridge. Can't take anymore. View from the bridge. Can't take anymore.
Well, thanks for that. Bridgeman, we'll get the views of the one and only Southside.
Aye, I thought Bridge summed that up well there, Ox. Thought he was quite good with his markings as well. I thought first half, apart from losing that stupid goal, I thought we sort of had most of the possession without really hitting a shot right at target or creating them any problems in the first half, in my opinion. But aye, second half, we totally destroyed them, mate. Just seemed to step it up at half time, I thought. But first half, if I'm honest, mate, I thought we got out of jail a wee bit, going up 2-1. I thought it was a bit like St Mirren again, a bit of deja vu like that, through Love Street a couple of weeks back.
There was a wee bit.
It definitely is when you get the goal so late. Aye, I get where you're coming from there, brah. Bridgeman?
Yeah, I think they had 2 chances in the first half and they scored 1. And another one, they got a wee chance and the goalkeeper picked the ball up. But the truth of the matter is, there were a couple of wee chances there that if they'd had a wee bit luck at that time, they could have got the ball and broke and caused us a problem. Other than that, for me, that's the finest performance I've seen this season for the Rangers. Absolutely outstanding to a man. Every single one of those players deserved medals. I loved it. I absolutely loved watching it. And I know Southside, you'd have been there, and I know you would have loved that too. Not going down.
All right, the view for the bridge is finished. You you've got a sore throat, yeah?
Right, okay.
This is getting me into trouble. You talking too much. Right. Aye.
Might need to see somebody for getting a sore throat.
I'll answer your question. Yes, it was a bit like deja vu because we got the goals near enough the same minutes as we did at Love Street. I see where you're coming from. For me, it was a slightly better performance a big better performance than it was at Love Street, mate, if I've been honest. We looked as if we could score. We had to get Love Street to get 2 goals out the blue, though.
I'm not trying to say it wasn't a bad performance. No, I'm not saying that. When we won 2-1 up, you've got to be happy. I just felt at the game, you're there and you're watching it, and you could possibly feel a goal might come, but as the half was going on, Ox, and we'd only created that one chance when Aribo played, there was a nice 1-2 with him and Davis. We hadn't created a lot. We had a lot of the ball. We got down the wings, but we couldn't beat the first man sometimes. I think they blocked one shot, but I didn't think we were forcing their goalie into any saves at that time. But when the goals came, I mean, what a volley for Tav. Unbelievable, wasn't it? I mean, to finish it the way, phenomenal, mate. Absolutely phenomenal. But what a volley,
That was the way that Bridge used to score them, Bridgeman.
I did, in fact, do that. Absolutely right. I did. I loved the volleys, as anybody did. Getting a good volley and absolutely brilliant. No, seriously, Tav, for me, Tav on his back to very close to being his best. And I've been a bit worried about him for the last couple of weeks because he didn't look the same guy. But my goodness gracious, he covered a lot of ground. A bit of that wee bit misunderstanding with Goldson again.
I'll give you my thoughts on that, Bridge, and I'll get you two thoughts. Right, there was a to me to you moment, yeah, and then Goldson obviously shouts for it. So being the dominant centre half compared to Tav sort of stops. That's what it looks like. Then Goldson plays it too heavy, and the rest it comes from there, mate. I thought it's Tav's ball. He's got a better view for me, but then as Goldson screams for it, well, Tav done the right thing. I think that's the way I seen it when I watched it back last night, Southside.
Yeah. At the game at the time, I thought Tav, it was probably his ball to go and get. And I've watched it back. I've watched the game twice now. And I still believe Tav was probably, he should have been the one that dealt with it. And like you say, Golston jumped in at the last minute or whatever, and he did it too hard. Even at the goal, we should have defended it better. Golston's caught a bit flat-footed as well when the boy runs sort of off him at the side when he puts it in. Thought McGregor could have done a bit better. I know he's just got up, but the boy finished it at the sort of near post where you'd expect a goalkeeper to cover. But that aside, mate, that was the only blip in the whole day. Apart from that, everything else was very positive for us.
I kind of agree with Southside there, Oxford, and the fact that I thought it was Tav. Tav was moving towards Goldson.
Yeah, he's the best angle, mate, no doubt in that, Bridgman.
So I thought Tav was going to take it, and I think Goldson thought that too. But then he could see the ball wasn't going to get to Tav. It was going to come over Tav's head, and he ended up heading. By the way, it was a terrible header from him. Terrible header. It was off the target and too hard. So, unfortunately for him, unfortunately. However, that said, they made a blunder there, gave the corner away, and then it was a short corner taking. Wasn't a Rangers player over there with him at all. So I wondered what was going on. I don't know whether there's something going on with Tav and Golson other than football stuff, I think something may be going on there.
I think you're reading too much into the fact that they've made a few errors. If it happens, people, when you put yourself out the way we play, you can expose at times, you make errors, it sometimes leads to goals. There's a few errors for me in the goal Southside, but look, that small negative takes away a great positive for me. It was a fantastic result, and one that we'd never seen coming. I thought we would win. Did I think we'd win 6-1, Biggie? No.
Nah, me either, mate. It's been a long time since we went to Fir Park and gave them a bit of a doing. See the goal, I just think this season, I've listened to the show a few times during the week now when people have been talking. I just think we gave up some of these chances last season, right? If you only just talk for a second about last season, we gave up chances like this, but we didn't always get punished. This year we seem to be getting punished. We've made the odd mistake, we get punished for it, but no Martin tight at the back, then they nick the goal, whereas last season a lot of teams either missed the chance or we saved it. But moving on for that, mate, that was my only theory on the way we're conceding goals in it. I thought Sakala, his movement to get himself in the box for the cross. I mean, Tav delivered a cracking ball just for getting in the box and header it, and he delivered that. It was a powerful header. When you're looking at it for the other end, it didn't look as powerful, but it certainly went right by him, didn't it? When you see
he got some height, didn't he, Southside?
He
got some height for that. It was fantastic.
That was a good goal. Maybe not quite as good as the first one, but it was
the first one's class. A different thing entirely, isn't it? Wow.
And then remember that period. I can't remember if it was before or after Sakala's goal. Tav nearly returned the favour to Bassey.
Aye. He dropped that one there deep. He sort of tried to side fit it, and I think Alfie tried to get a wee knock on it as well, in about the 6-yard box.
I'd love to see Bassey having a blast. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, I think overall we've got to be happy. We've scored 6 goals and we've had quite a good display for a lot of the players, Ox, you know. So even them going a man down, it doesn't make any difference. We would have still went on and won that game comfortably. We were well on top. So aye, it was a good day's work, mate, and we've all got to be happy with the result.
You're right about Bassey. He's some unit, isn't he? Last time I seen thighs like that was the Lassie Foxes dancing up with Savoy, you know what I mean?
Very good.
Who was she, a first aider?
Fox needed a first aider, you know?
You're a shocker, you two.
You know, but Big Bassey done okay again. I mean, I think he done okay against Aberdeen. I've been critical in the past, but he was steady and obviously involved. Again, the first half, never had a lot to do in the second half. Pretty much strolled it. So, credit where credit's due, you know.
He's gaining confidence all the time, the boy. All the time. I think he's a great wee player. Big player. A great big player, I should say. An able deputy at the moment anyway for Borna. And if he keeps going the way he's going, Borna's going to struggle to get back into the team because he's playing really well.
I think that's fair, Bridge. I mean, he's doing okay. I mean, I wouldn't say he's setting the hair on fire, but you can see him put progression in his play, if that's fair, Southside.
Aye, I would say he had a good game yesterday. Not a great game, but a good game. Good. That'd be fair, do you think? You know, so... And he looked all right yesterday. He got stuck in for us. Also, we got O'Donnell sent off when he was busting through, and you had to bring him down for when he done the overlap. And he also made a run when Sakala scored. He took the defender away. So, he was up in attack, mate, because we were on top of them the whole second half. So, it was just a bit damage limitation for them, you know. But, he had a good game yesterday, mate. And
I think
well deserved.
Good, no great, I think. I mean, Sakala has a great game because he gets a hat-trick, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Aye, he was, I think, when I said I fancied him in the team, if you remember when I put him in, Ox, I was, for what he done, that's what I was looking for him today. I said, get on the ball and get running at O'Donnell. And obviously, I said before, when he sometimes gets round about the edge of the box. He's done it against Celtic, Motherwell and somebody else. He had the wild shots. So, I thought what he done was he was prepared to shoot when he got to the edge of the box, and he got his reward, obviously, you know. Yeah. So he done everything I think we were looking for him today, mate. Given a chance, no?
Right, man, you can't win the raffle unless you buy a ticket, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% right. I was so pleased for all of the players because it was a really good performance by all of them. After, of course, the screw up and losing the goal, after about 20 minutes or so, we started to gather our processes, and away we went, and they couldn't live with us. They just could not live with us. We showed, no matter who they are, any team that comes up against us, if we're on form, we will destroy them. We will. And actually, see that boy O'Donnell when he got sent off, he should have been sent off in the first half for 2 terrible fouls. But he gets away with it because he's a Scottish international. It's just wrong. Just wrong. Very poor.
All right. We'll get these lines open if that's all right with you two fine upstanding gentlemen.
Go for it.
Aye, come on in, Bears. Should all be happy tonight and we'll get a good wee chit chat.
I'm going to speak to the boss. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye. Really pleased, Southside. Really pleased, Brisbane. Something to build on. Obviously, a different competition on Thursday night, but the league's that's the bread and butter, and got to be delighted. We criticise, I think, fairly on here. Some people might disagree. They can phone up and undersay if they think so. But we've got to be delighted with a Southside down the bridge.
Aye, mate. Like I said, I heard the show during the week, and there's no many. There's no. There wasn't really anybody to come on, mate, and even the views of the people that was on the show. We were just critiquing it the way we've seen it. It's not been great all season. We've had wee bursts here and there, and we've been a wee bit critical. But after last night, and I've been a wee bit critical about the first half, mate. Talking about the game yesterday, I don't think we were really at it. We controlled large parts of it, but we weren't peppering our goal with much. But we certainly rectified that in the second half. So, but at the end of the day, we won 6. We scored 6 goals, mate, and that's what we've got to be happy about. Obviously, Sakala's got his chance, came in, scored 3 goals. So it'll be good for his confidence. Still a bit raw. I think there's still a lot to come for him. But just on that, and even Scotty Arfield coming in, didn't think he was great, but I thought he was good. Same again yesterday. So, aye, mate, got to be happy with everything there.
Aye, I agree. Bridgeman, apart from Bridges.
Yeah, on Scott Arfield, I thought Scott Arfield did a very good game yesterday. Obviously didn't set the head on a light all that much, but in the position he was playing, he was very effective. He was sort of stopping them as much as he could anyway, and he was breaking up their play, and that's what we wanted from him. And it proved it in the second half. Really good. I think we were outstanding in the second half, really and truly. It was great for me to watch, and I'm just thinking to myself, somewhere along the line, that's going to put the kibosh on a lot of other teams, thinking the Rangers are easy. But we've now told them by that performance that we're not easy. That's not to say they won't come in and try, but that team had 9 players across their 2, the 6-yard box and the 18-yard box. 9 players in there at times yesterday. Shocking.
I think it was a good victory. I thought, as you said, Southside, there's a lot of good performances. Sakala will steal the headlines, I said yesterday. But for me, over the piece, and I mean over the 90 minutes, Stephen Davis was the best footballer on the show. Southside.
Aye, he showed his class yesterday. He had plenty of time on the ball. He made space for himself, and he dictated the passes and the play, mate. Excellent. It was good to get him back. I did say I wanted him back in my team. I thought he might give us a performance. He certainly did. Sakala will get the headlines, mate, obviously, with the 3 goals. And fair play to him. He got 3 goals, but Stephen Davis certainly kept the midfield together. Kamara, I think, had a better second half than first half. But aye, a great performance for Stephen Davis again, mate. It's something we expect from him usually now. Maybe that wee rest helped him as well, Ox, you know.
Maybe. Any thoughts on that, Bridge?
I think you're right there with the wee rest thing you're saying. It certainly does help. There's no doubt about it. And sometimes there comes a wee surprise. You might not want it, but it goes for it, you know. And I look around and you see some of these players, and I think to myself, we have got some absolutely fantastic players in our squad. Fantastic players. And some of them will need a rest, and that's for sure. They will need a rest as they go forward. All of them. And the manager must start to pick and see who's going to drop out and so on and so forth. They can't go on with the same 11 every week, and that's for sure. So it was really inventive of them. That team. That's tremendous stuff. I really enjoyed it, and I hope the manager sees what he's done and keeps it going that way, because we'll deserve to win this league. No doubt about it.
Aye, good for the team. Sakala getting the goals. Glenn Kamara. I thought Kamara came into the game. I don't know if you noticed at the game, Southside, and maybe we watched the highlights. There was a sort of a shot. He went for the first half, never came to nothing, but he caught the boy's foot and he was hobbling. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't at the game, mate, at the time, but I noticed it when I'd watched the game again. I noticed it then, but at the time, mate, I didn't. I thought he'd a better second half than the first half, mate, but no, I didn't see that. Was that just a block shot at the edge of the box, wasn't it? He was ready to shoot.
He's got the guys. Anyway, we'll be joined by Ross, who was put through by the boss. How we doing, Ross?
How we doing, guys? All right?
Good to hear from you, mate. How's things? What's on your mind?
Aye. No much, mate. Just wanted to talk about yesterday. I thought we were absolutely brilliant yesterday. We were absolutely brilliant. We were right at it again, weren't we? And it was more like us.
Yeah, Southside.
Aye. Ross, do you think we were bang on it for the full first 45 minutes? You know, I was a wee bit like, we controlled the ball, we controlled that, we lost the silly goal, But I just thought up until we nicked the 2 goals at half time, we're a bit sloppy at times in that. Although, we weren't beating the first man every time we were crossing it in, we couldn't beat the first man in that. I thought it was a lot of sort of stop starting, no?
I kind of agree with you. Like, obviously, like, when they scored, you're thinking, oh, here we go again, and we just maybe looked a wee bit predictable, like, for a little while, but as you said, I think once we got the goal, we really kicked on, and we were excellent after that.
Aye, mate. I thought probably maybe just 10 minutes spell before half time, maybe just after Aribo missed his chance. He was unlucky. He played a nice 1-2 with Davis, but then they broke up apart and nearly went 2-0 up. But apart from that, I thought we had controlled the game well, mate. I just didn't think we were having their goalkeeper making many saves, and I just felt when I go to half time, I was quite happy we'd obviously scored the 2 goals. Tavs was a belter, obviously.
What you saying there, Southside, that the third goal's a big goal?
It is in any game, mate, obviously, but we started well the second half, Ox, and we limited them to virtually nothing against us in the second half. I think maybe Gerrard went in and maybe had a wee pep talk because we came out firing straight away. I just thought first half we were a bit stop-start. That was my only criticism there.
Ross?
I think like what you're saying, that third goal was like so important because obviously with the way a lot of games have went this year, we've only been won by the odd goal at me, and like obviously maybe the last 5-10 minutes in games get very nervous, so getting that third one, it really just kind of settled us down a wee bit, didn't it? And we just went on and kicked on after that. But it just shows, see, when you have a goal and hit a shot, it just shows you what can happen there.
Yeah, and goals change games, huh?
Aye, that's it. Spot on.
I'm really pleased for
goals for you?
Sorry.
What's the best goal?
Sorry, guys.
What was the pick of the goals for you?
Tabs.
Tabs.
Yeah.
Aye. Have to
Aye.
Tabs. It was
aye. That was just some hit. He caught it so sweet, didn't he?
Aye. I liked what he done. Ball in it, and he was getting everybody back in the back.
Right, let's go again. Yep.
Aye. I would go with that. I think Tabs, and then obviously Sakalis for the Stephen Davis pass. Any thoughts, Bridge?
Yeah, most assuredly. That pass from Stephen Davis was absolute magic. Also, I must admit that pass from Tab for Sakala. Oh, what a header! That was just brilliant. And I've got no complaints about any of the goals really. I liked every one of them. I really did like Kamara's simply because it was such a special. He doesn't score that much. He doesn't even get a shot in that much, But there today, or Sunday, he got a really good shot in, and it wasn't deflected, was it? No, his game, no, his goal anyway. It was Sakala to deflect. I'm pleased with it. But Tav's unbelievable goal. That is just the same as I used to score for sure.
Well, just a quick one more point before I go, mate.
I
was at the game yesterday, and the fans were absolutely tremendous.
Oh, can you give us that new Sakala song then?
Go on.
Oh, it's been in my head all day. I've been humming it. I'm telling you.
Come on.
He comes from Zambia.
Go on.
Oh, but no, honestly, I thought we were tremendous. Like when that second goal went in, like everyone just went absolutely mental. It was a big goal for us. And just hats off to everybody for sticking by the team. They were superb.
What about you in Southside? What about you in Southside?
You're at it. No, he's bang on yesterday. Fans were superb. Absolutely belted it out from start to finish, and stuck behind the team when we went to Golden. But and it was good. Obviously, when the supporters are coming off and they've got to go up beside you, the 5 players and the fans are there, get into that stand, and Fashion was getting a great reception. So, it was a great day, Ross.
Oh, so superb. It's probably, I've said a lot of guys in Saturday that it's probably the best away day I've been in a while. So it was excellent. So it was brilliant.
Well, you two were at the game. Did the Motherwell fans desert the stadium before the end?
I think it was about, I think maybe 3 or the 4th goal went in, Bridge, and then they were all going away.
Okay.
They were off when the bells were getting it twist and shout, Ross?
Is that right? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I love it.
I don't think they were there for the start. There was that many empty seats.
I know.
Only 7,000 people there. For God's sake, Rangers could take that easily. Easily. Mind you, there is something wrong with the stadium, isn't it?
Economics of Scottish football, I just wonder sometimes. Southside,
Oh.
you thought one stand up, you let another couple of thousand in and make a lot of money for your team.
But normally when the team comes out, Rangers usually get most of that. But it was Motherwell, and you could probably have took them out of there and put them in behind the goal. And you could even have took some of them out behind that goal and do there and put them in that shed. You know, and you probably just have felt the shed be in. But there was definitely space for Bears to get in. But for some reason, they've chose not to let us in, Box, and that's just a sad fact. 7,700 and something they said was in the stadium. No, just in total they said there was 7,000. We only get the one Stonebridge.
Right, and how many was that? Can you tell me? 2,000?
A couple of thousand, I think, yesterday.
Okay. As Oxford said, it's the economics of the matters in Scottish football, I'll tell you.
Absolutely mental. Anyway, good to hear from you, Ross, mate.
No bother. Thanks for taking my call, boys.
No, always good to hear from you, mate. Yeah.
It's a nice one, regards. I'll speak to you after, right?
All right, cheers, Ross, boy.
Cheers.
Right, Ross, bye.
Yeah.
What a nice guy. Aye, we could tell you. Does anybody don't think? I mean, a Fashion Sakala for me has got to get man in a match when you get a good hat trick like that. But I still think we looked a better team with David Davis firing on all cylinders, Southside.
I think we've got to look at it for the game it is, mate. We'll take the result as in the opposition and how they played. I mean, we've got to be happy with it. Stevie Davis coming in. It's a wee bit going back to tried and tested in it with Kamara, Arfield and Davis, because we've had that midfield before, you know. So I just think he went a wee bit more experience. I think he alluded to it in his presser that Arfield had done well, and also Fashion Sakala was starting to look a wee bit brighter in training. And I think it was suited for them to come back at that time, well, especially Davis having his rest, and I think it was probably the right time to unleash Sakala. And to be honest, mate, we've got to be fair to the management team. We got the rewards for it, you know.
I ultimately got it right. Bridge, Sakala, I've not really seen that much. It's not his first start, but his first game in a while. I need to check when he last played, but we've got to be happy now if he starts scoring goals.
Oh yeah, it's a wee short introductions into the games, you know. And when he's looked good sometimes, and other times he's kind of falling over the ball type of thing, you know. But we saw, and we said it last week when we were talking about it. We need people to get in and get their 10 games, you know, anywhere between 8 and 10 games, and you're only going to see the best of them sometime in about then. And if Sakala can get selected, because that's the first thing that must happen, he must get selected, and if he gets selected, he must show the same as he did against Motherwell, because he looked brilliant. He looked absolutely brilliant, and he terrorised them yesterday. A lot of pace that boy.
Good blend when obviously you get the strength of Morelos and maybe the guile of Morelos trying to spray the passes, and then you've got the quick feet at Joe Aribo, and then you've got the raw pace, and obviously you've got to be fair, Southside the finishing, that's Sakala. So you end up with a good blend there.
Well, we were all talking the other week, weren't we? We were saying we wanted some pace in the team, and he provides the pace. We all kind of disagree on that. Just looks a wee bit raw sometimes, but you know what, mate? He went out and done a job yesterday, and he proved to us that he's got a wee bit about him. We'd like to hope he'll continue. I mean, if he gets a chance on Thursday, then hopefully he'll add to his goals. But he certainly showed that he's capable of running in behind, and I think, like you say, it's just took a wee bit of time for him to get a wee chance, and Sunday was his chance, and he certainly delivered for us. Do you know, think that?
Aye, I loved him getting off the park, Bridge. I bet you enjoyed that, didn't you?
Oh, thoroughly. Absolutely. If I was Steven Gerrard, I would have been driving them. Go into the fans, right back again. Go and speak to the fans. I love that, and the fans just loved him, loved his goals, and he's made a difference. He's brought a lot of folk into the game, and a lot of the fans back on people's sides, because the Rangers fans weren't happy, really. Happy enough to a certain extent, but shall we say, a little bit worried, a wee bit worried. But now, not to worry now. So how many points are we clear at the top of the league, Southside?
Well, if you take my City rivals, we're a point further ahead of them this year than we were this time last year. Oh, I think we'll be joined by Ian. How we doing, Ian?
Oh, yeah, all right.
Was that Ian?
Aye.
How are you,
Ian? I've got a chest infection, but I'm getting all right now.
Right, I'm going to diagnose that for you with that cough. Right, carry on.
I was phoning up to prove a point I made probably about 2 weeks ago, that Rangers need to start shooting from outside the box. And I've noticed in the last couple of games, they've started to do that. They're scoring the goals. I mean, they're not just trying to walk it in.
Mixing it up. Yep.
Aye, mixing it up. Instead of trying to walk it in, I get it down the wings and cross it out. I see a gap anywhere. They're having a shot, and there's a few going in, and it was just sort of proving a point I've been saying for months now. Keep trying to cross it in and try to play these fancy 1-2s into the box. Just
Ian, we've heard you on saying that. There's a few on here have said the same thing, mate. I think we've all said that in time, but you certainly said it. And I think Sunday shows we got the rewards, mate, for taking the chance outside the box. I mean, a good goal for Glenn Kamara. It was a good strike. But something that he doesn't usually do, in fairness. But he's certainly got it in his locker, mate. And obviously, Fashion Sakala, he doesn't look like it looks like when he's on the park, he's willing to have a shot when he can get a chance. And you're right, Joe Aribo, sometimes we can see that on the wing when he cuts in, he can put them in the far corner and stuff, but he tends to look for a 1-2. Hadji can be similar at times, but Hadji's a wee bit like he'll have a go as well, mate. You know, if he can get a chance, he'll certainly have a dig. But hopefully now Ian, it's something going forward that we'll see them do a lot more, and hopefully we'll see the ball hit the back of the net a lot more if they're doing it, you know.
I think that, especially that second half, I mean, that was what the Rangers of last season. I mean, even the first half when we went 1-0 down, no heads went down. They get stuck in, even though.
I think I'm used to it. Yeah.
Huh?
I think this season we're used to it.
Aye, I mean, we've not been playing that great, but this game against Motherwell just gives us all the memories back to the last season, the way they can play. They know they can play like that. And they proved it. And I think last week was probably, I'm not making excuses, but that probably was too emotional for everybody. And they had to go out and prove it to Motherwell. And I think the set plan was to, right, we're getting in here, we're going to run this, we're going to give them a doing. And that's exactly what they've done.
Aye. I think you're right, mate. I think that getting the first goal's a blip if you come back and score 6, but I'd rather we never conceded the first goal, Bridgeman.
Aye. Here, I was wanting to know something. I was wanting to know if I could sing a wee song. It was the Celtic version of Four Blacks Had a Dream.
No, you're all right, Ian. We don't know how that's going to go. We're live.
No, there's no sweary words in it.
What do you think, Bridgeman?
I want to ask if we'll sing it along with Southside.
Southside's going to do the Sakala song for the tune.
All right,
9 o'clock.
Let's get for the other then. Go for it.
With me?
I mean, I would say yes, but Oxter will just, anything wrong, will just pull the button on you.
Aye.
Right, okay then.
That's gambling, because you know what happened to James with Tennessee.
But
the flow's all yours, Ian.
Right. I'll clear my throat.
Okay, we'll go back into the tune then.
Right. Four Priests had a dream.
No.
That's a boys' club team.
Oh, I don't know where that's going to go.
Oh, no. Might end up with a letter.
Aye.
That's over to Southside now.
Yes.
I've just stated my case. You might get a letter, Bridge.
Ian, phone us back. You're welcome. I think you're actually worse than James from Tennessee, Southside.
Aye, maybe we'll get James on the night now. He might come on and give us a wee
James isn't the
tune.
worst. James
No,
isn't the worst.
no, certainly no.
But I think Ian's got more potential.
Aye. It started off all right, but just not going any further.
Aye. Don't know where it was going with that, Bridge. Well, Bridge is away writing the words down.
He's away to learn that.
Right, here's one for you. I'm going to take the Fifth Amendment on this one, right? Is that fair?
That's the usual with you, innit?
Aye. Did the omission of Hadji speed up our play? Southside.
Yesterday. I just think we had a decent display, mate, for everybody that came in. Did it slow it down? I wouldn't know. No, not really. No, possibly no. Depends where you're playing them, doesn't it? Are you talking about playing them in the deep midfield, or are you talking about playing them up in the top
he's
three?
been playing up top, hasn't he? He's been playing up top.
Aye. So no, if you're saying that to me, then I wouldn't think so if you were playing them up in the top three.
All right. Bridgeman?
Actually, no sure. I'm actually not sure. I missed the last sentence. I apologise. I missed your last sentence, Oxtear. What was the last sentence you said?
It was about whether Alan McGregor should have caught that one.
Oh, well, yeah, I think he should have. I did say that. No, I did say that. He should have.
You need to start listening. It was about Hadji and omissions.
I heard you reading that out.
I'm just going to say this one. You should be hanging on to my every word.
I missed your last sentence. The one about Hadji, I understand that. Hadji not being there.
The omission of
the
Hadji
pace.
speed up play.
Yes, it did. It did. 100%.
Okay.
Unfortunately for him, that looked good.
But hang on.
That's my criticism of Hadji. Hadji's got different attributes to his game. So
of course.
See, I think it depends, and it's a hard one to judge, right, because of the performance yesterday and the way we played. But if Hadji was playing in the front three, then I don't know whether it would slow it down, really. Maybe in the midfield, aye, but saying that, Arfield's not get much more pace than probably Hadji. The only difference is he makes intelligent runs into the box with that deep midfield role.
Aye. Listen, it was my question. It came from Mr. F. Fox. Listen, good team performance. McGregor nothing to do in the second half. 6-1 victory, top of the league, 4 points clear. Semi-final of the Cup, big European game coming up on Thursday. What were we worrying about, Southside?
Nothing, mate, absolutely nothing. Just, it's a good result, and then hopefully it's going to give us another good result come Thursday, isn't it? It's a good build-up. Players are looking comfortable after the day, they'll all be buzzing. So, it's something to look forward to, mate. Hopefully it'll set us on a wee roll, and get us going.
Bridge, what were we worrying about?
Well, remember yesterday before the game, Foxy was saying something like, well, look, we're going to be still top of the league, no matter what happens, after that game yesterday. Maybe the players were thinking, I'm not saying the exact same words, but, they allowed them to relax a wee bit. It wouldn't really matter, blah, blah, blah. And they came out and they played out of their skins. Because I thought it was, again, I'll say it, a marvellous performance. And I'm really pleased that there's some people in our squad think they're due getting a game every week. And yesterday we proved it's not going to be possible. I think the manager's started to see what he wants, and he wants more of what he did yesterday. That's for sure. He wants more of that. And I think that's right. I don't know about you guys.
Talking about Davis coming in, or Arfield, whatever way you want to dress it up for Lundstrom. It's a big learning curve for Lundstrom at our club, mate. If you don't perform, You maybe don't get a shot because he wasn't great against Aberdeen when he had been great. Southside.
I think that's how I left him out, my teammate, to be honest. You know, he didn't have a good game. I just thought, why not give Arfield a game and bring back Davis? It's like one of them, he has to perform. He'll realise that he's got to put in performances week in, week out. And I dare say he will play a lot of games for us, and I think he will go on to be a good player for us, mate. I really do. I just think it's taking a bit of time. He'll have a few good games. He started to come on and done well. And then he had that sort of poorish game against Aberdeen. And the manager decided to drop him and bring in Davis and Arfield. So, and that's just the way it goes, mate. He'll learn, but I'm sure he's up for the fight, mate. And I dare say he'll have some good performances going forward. He's not a bad player. He's just took a wee bit of time to settle into our system.
I really want to see Lundstrom playing alongside Davis. I think they'd make a really good partnership. I really do. I feel that sincerely. But when against Aberdeen, I don't think Lundstrom actually kicked a ball properly for the whole game. I really think it was the poorest performance of the season for me, where that was a great stage for him to show his skills and go out and do it and be powerful in your game. And he didn't do it. He seemed to find a slot. And I don't know whether the defenders were calling him back. Here, come in here, get in front of us because there's a lot of people in here. Because Aberdeen were loading up front, you know. And I don't know whether that's what was causing that, but from a midfield perspective, the way he plays, he should be able to waltz through these games. No
right, we've been joined with Davy. Evening, Davy.
Evening, Ox.
How we doing, mate?
Bridgeman, Southside. Yeah,
how you doing, Davy?
A lot better after yesterday's result.
Oh yes, Davy.
That was a good result. But I still think we might be getting carried away a wee bit. Because I thought Motherwell was a really poor side yesterday. We can only beat what's in front of us.
Yeah.
Understand that. But watching Motherwell, I thought it was like watching Rangers, They were poor, and their marking and that, and their work rate was really poor. You heard me on about that, the work rate for Rangers last week, or that I was on about it,
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't marking. So they made Rangers look good because we had all the room to do what we wanted with the ball. And
I think we had them a wee bit rope up, Dave. I mean, after a bit of more, they'd run out of legs, you know.
And yeah, they're talking about what they call it, Lundstrom. Bridgman, Lundstrom and Davis want to play together. I think that just proved yesterday they just can't play together. And for me, the catalyst in the midfield was bringing Arfield in. And Arfield gave Tav the room to do what he wanted, because I think they link up well. And personally, I think Arfield, Davis and Kamara is our best midfielder now that's available to us. And,
Southside. Davey, I think we've got to look at it as we put in a better performance yesterday, right? I said earlier, I don't know if you heard, I didn't think we were too great in the first half. That was just my own personal opinion, right? But I thought second half we certainly upped it. We caused them problems. We knocked the ball about. Obviously, when they went down to 10 men, I think we used it a bit better. I think he made subs at the right time, injecting a bit more pace into the team. So, I mean, if you probably look at Sakala's third goal, your goalie shouldn't be losing a goal in the 6-yard box, should he really? But it was a good pass and a good run for Sakala. And you know, the pass was there. But normally your goalkeeper shouldn't be losing a goal in a couple of yards out, you know. But if you're maybe looking for that for the sort of defending, but I thought we battered them, mate, the second half, and I thought we got what we deserved, to be honest, and it was good that we managed to score 6 goals. No, especially going to Fir Park. It wasn't so long ago we had to get Cedric Eaton to get us out a mess, you know. So we gave them a bit of a doing yesterday, mate, and they might have been poor, but I think we made them poor, you know.
Well, there's a bit of that as well, but I think they gave them Rangers too much room, and this is what we've been waiting for Rangers today, up their game a wee bit. And I quite like the midfield because they seem to be hunting in packs a wee bit better. And their work rate was a lot better.
Is it any coincidence that the three guys were relatively fresh yesterday? Kamara, Davis and Arfield?
Possible. Well, Kamara's played most of the time, yeah. Kamara's played a lot of football for us. But he played a lot better. He played a lot better yesterday with Davis and Arfield in the middle of the park with him. And he wanted to get forward a bit more. And hence he scored a goal as well, eh?
That was I'll tell you how I seen it, but I accept your point. The Motherwell weren't great. You lose 6-1, and it could have been more, let's be honest.
Aye, I understand that. I'm not trying to take it away from the Rangers, how good we played, eh?
An honest critique, mate, I think. But see, after about an hour, mate, and obviously the third goal, they were dead in their feet. And that's because of the chasing they'd done, the chasing the shadows at times, even in the first half.
Uh-huh.
You know, because even though we weren't at our best, we were still moving the ball and making them work, you know. And it's difficult to keep chasing when you've not got the ball, Davey, you know.
Aye. But do you know how that's your best midfield we've got available now? Or would you like to chase it? I hear you on about Hadji. Well, for me, Big Aribo, he was outstanding yesterday in the first half day. And I thought he played well, really well, Aribo. I thought he was our best player in the first half, but I thought he was quiet in the second half. Yeah.
You know, but, I'm a fan of Big Joe's. Listen, I don't dislike Hadji. I only critique what I see in the particular games.
That's what we can do. We're not here to slaughter Rangers. We're just giving, as you say, honest opinions and how you see the game and how it's working out.
As a wise man said to me today, he's still young, Hadji.
Yeah.
You know.
But I think that's your best midfield. Arfield, Davis and Kamara.
Could be, so you're not seeing Lundstrom. I mean, remember Lundstrom get man of the match for his 4 games in a trot?
Aye, well, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Lundstrom. Right. And I can mind at the start, and I agree with Bridgman. Bridgman thought he was 2 years after the pace, and I still think he's a bit sluggish compared to Davis. And the amount of Davis, 36-year-old, and he must be about one of the most fittest outfield players that's in our team, because he's a guy that's 30 and 40 yards. And you're seeing Lundstrom and that, and he can't Davis not puts in.
He's a wee athlete, isn't he?
Yeah, and that was another thing. That was another thing I was on about last week was the work rate of the players. They need to step that up. And they seem to do that a bit yesterday, because they were closing down a lot more, and they're hunting more in packs, going for the closing down. And I thought really
I think that becomes easier when you get the third goal. Southside.
Aye, Davey, I think we realised, right, it was a big game yesterday for us, you know. So, and we had a freshness about the midfield. He had pulled Kamara out the team, gave him a rest a game or two, then put him back in because he has played a lot. But we had a freshness in the midfield. You obviously had Sakala getting them on the ball and running at them and getting it at the back of them. Joe Aribo was taking them down the right-hand side. So I think when we moved the ball, like Ox says, we moved the ball well yesterday. So I think we done the game plan right, and I think we just took our chances. Lundstrom, I think he'll become a good player. I really do. I just think that now he's still finding his feet, and there'll be games when he'll play, and there's games when the manager will think no, and I think that's it. And because we can't really complain about his performances in the last few weeks, apart from Aberdeen, and there wasn't many good against Aberdeen. So, aye, so you take that game in isolation and you look at what he done on Sunday, and obviously the team he picked and it performed. We got a good result. So we'll see. Obviously, he might not stick to the same team come Thursday because it's a different competition.
Aye.
But in the league at the moment, it's a great result for us, David. To go to Fir Park and score 6 goals, I was well chuffed with that, mate. You know, it was a really big result for us, considering the amount of pressure that we've all no pressure, but we've criticised the team. We've all criticised the team slightly on here, but in a positive way, you know, for what we all see. So, like I've said, didn't think the first half was great, but the second half was certainly a lot better, and it was a great result at the end of the day and a good performance overall.
Right. But you're saying that was the biggest game. The biggest game for me was Wednesday, for Walter Smith and all that, and these guys couldn't erase it. So,
David, I don't mean it in that context. every game's big for Rangers, right? Every
of course
game.
We want to win every game.
That game against Aberdeen was passed, as I was meaning as in commentary for Park. That was a massive game for us, considering that across the city. I know that we're worried about them, but they helped us out with Drampton too. So we had to capitalise on Sunday.
The weekend helped us.
Aye, and we had to capitalise on Sunday, but we have to win every week, Davey. But
that's right. As I say, I'll take a Bridgeman every week. 1-0 for me, and that's just win everything.
He likes thrillers to do a Bridgeman. He likes thrillers. He was that happy. He was that happy on Sunday. Mrs. Bridge got a double nugget for the van. David.
A double nugget for the ice cream van. Absolutely, by the way, absolutely.
See, I don't think the manager had much option after Wednesday because the team was really, really poor.
Aye, but
so they had to freshen it up, eh?
There was a bold decision. He could have went with Roof. Whose goal ratio is good. He could have left Aribo in midfield and maybe brought Scott Wright in. But he made decisions. Obviously, the back four.
Aye.
People were wanting Patterson brought in. He stuck with Tav. He got it right again. Me personally, I'm thinking he's brought Arfield in because Arfield gives you a wee bit of difference in the middle of the park on the right hand side. And Tav and Aribo play better when, like Arfield's there. They've got somebody that they can rely on and somebody that wants to get forward. I also think Aribo's better. I think Aribo's better one further up south side.
Aye. Davey, see, a few weeks ago, we're all in here, we were all saying the midfield looked tired. We were picking the same players, but had the amount of games that they were playing. Aribo was in the team, Hadji was in the team and that. And we were saying maybe needs to freshen it up a wee bit. Some people in here were thinking Bakuna could come in and play in the midfield, you know. So everybody's got...
See, they're saying a few weeks ago, you're only 10 games into the season. These guys
Davey, I know, but...
that's the point I've been making last week. I don't think the players are really on the ball with the fitness. I really don't.
We've spoken about it since the start of the season. Never really had a pre-season, but a lot of players were away in internationals. We've had COVID affect the club. We've had a host of things, niggling injuries. So, and then we're now into the bit of the season where you're playing three games a week. So, they're getting fitter, but he's still having to make changes here and there. Obviously, he's kept Golson and Balogun together for the last number of games. So, they're getting their fitness up, mate, but there is a lot of mitigation circumstances that caused maybe the fitness not to be too great for certain players. But I think now we're starting to see that we're hitting this run of games, mate, so their fitness is going to get a lot better. We're just looking for the performances to get better. That was the only thing I thought.
Here.
Do you know how Balogun was about to blame for the first goal? The boy getting the header in.
Combination there, Davey. You can blame Tav. You can blame Tav and Golson for the initial.
For the corner kick, eh? I understand that. When
you can blame Tav
when they took the corner kick,
you can blame
when they took the corner kick.
Let's answer the question.
Aye.
Right, you can blame Tav for not getting out quick enough. Balogun left on his own. He got out jumped. You can blame McGregor for not dealing with it. You can then blame Golson for being caught in his heels. It was a combination of a lot of things that go. Anyway, talking about combinations, get yourself in mute because we're going to have a tune.
Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. We support the Glasgow Rangers, do not Ibrox is the place, and we will follow in the championship race. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. It's true, the magic boys in blue are the best team in the land. You've got to cure and govern to get a ticket for the stand. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football yes, that's true. But the Rangers fans deserve the best from the boys in royal blue. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Ago the story, it was dismal, full of gloom. Now we're building an extension for the Ibrox trophy room. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. In Europe we'll be travelling by land and sea and plane. The teddy bears have got the fares and we're on the march again. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball. The Glasgow Rangers football team's the greatest team of all. Yes, it's true, the boys in blue are just magic on the ball.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
What was that wee song at the end there?
That's a Sakala song.
That's a Sakala song, right? Okay.
Aye, you need to learn it for tomorrow night.
Oh my God. Oh, well, brilliant. Aye, right. I'll get
I've been to loads of games with Swahili, but that's a different story. Southside is some number that.
Aye, brilliant, man. Boy, fair play to the boys for that one, you know. We're certainly battering it out on Sunday, and then we managed some cheeser on him with that ball and that, and especially at half-time, mate, when the Bears were battering it out. You know, he was loving it. Absolutely loving it. So fair play to the boys for that one, honestly. Brilliant.
I'm going to have to get the song sheets for that one, isn't it?
Wow.
I'll sign it now and I'll let other people come in, eh?
All right, great to hear for you as always, Dave.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and stay safe, lads, eh?
Right.
I'll speak to you later.
Brilliant.
Stay safe. Right, thank you. Bye.
If you can get with Davey's coming for you, it's not been a perfect start, but it's not where you start, it's when you finish Southside in. Hopefully this is a springboard.
Aye, mate, it's all confidence building in it, so it's like you say, we're hoping to continue this now and just get steamed in ahead this season. Just batter in, win everything, mate, just win everything we can.
I don't know if I should tell you this. What do you think, Bridge? No, I'll not tell you, it wouldn't be fair. Right, aye, it's all about confidence and moving on and getting the 3 points, and obviously Thursday becomes a big game, but...
Are you not going to tell us then?
All right, I'll tell you if you promise not to tell anybody.
Of course.
Fox was trying that Fashion Sakala number last night. His teeth came out and broke his bathroom mirror.
Oh, Foxy boy.
Everything happens to that man. Everything. Right.
Wow. Oh, sorry. I didn't switch off.
Right.
He didn't cut his lip around, did he? In case we need a first aider.
Oh, first aiders.
Right.
Remember the old first aider badges in the BB? Remember that?
Oh, them. He got them for nothing, didn't he? Just here's a
No, you did
plaster.
not the good BBs I went to.
Oh, come on, Bridge.
We were top secret.
Bridge, it was easy, Bridge. Come on.
The first age badges, you gave them all the chookies, didn't they?
Not at all. That
was.
Aye, even
top
the daft.
class.
No, come on, Bridge. You've got to think of the badges you used to get. I mean, remember, you used to get ones for swimming and stuff like that. You actually had to be
real
a bad
badges,
swimmer.
First aiders, that was
no, but first aiders. Come on, Bridge.
I never got any badges for swimming because I was a crap swimmer. That's the truth. But I wasn't bad at the first aid, and I got badges for that.
Get that brick, Bridge. He was good at that, getting the brick.
Oh, brilliant.
The first aid badges, that was the one you gave all the stickies. You're in the first aids, they're not very clever. And you give them, they get a patch as well, didn't they, Southside?
Other human beings.
Aye,
what a shocker you are, Foxy.
That was the easiest badge you got in the BB Bridge, definitely.
Aye,
no, that was not.
Doddle.
Which one were you in, Southside?
I was in the 59th.
What was that?
Southside, mate, Southside.
Okay.
Right, well, we joined by Ian. No more coughing, come on.
No, I just want to apologise for earlier on.
Carry on. What's on your mind?
I was just talking about the game in, when was it again, Sunday?
Sunday.
Aye, Sunday. How do you think Big Simpson felt when Roof put up on the net?
It was quite comical, actually. I don't know if you noticed that at the time, Southside at the game. Oh, Southside. Oh.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, I missed what you said there. Sorry, pal.
Did you miss Jack Simpson won the header that's going out and goal and Ruth comes in and tucks it in?
He raised his horns and then they looked scunnered, didn't he? But to be honest, Ruth done by us strikers' day. That's what you expect Ruth to do, innit? Just nick in there and get their goal, you know.
Aye. I just felt gutted for Simpson, but glad for Ruth, if that makes sense.
I think for Rangers, it would have been a better goal if Simpson would have scored that.
Aye.
Confidence, yeah?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm really meaning. But as you say, Ruth done the striker thing and just made sure in case it could have maybe, I don't know, bounced an awkward way, hit the post, come back out, anything. So he's probably done the right thing.
Aye, he's got to do that as a striker. Huh? Southside.
Aye.
Aye, typical Ruth, mate. That's it, Ian. You know, he's in the box. He's the type of guy that scores the type of goals, you know. It's been good for Simpson's confidence because he's hardly had a sniff in the team. But it was good to see him come on, mate, and get a wee bit of game time as well, you know. And it's just a bit offloading Balogun's game time a wee bit, eh?
Aye, Ruth never looks happy when he scores. He seems to be in a bad mood when he walks up the park. You ever noticed that?
He's always looking for more goals, you know, and obviously I think he'd have been disappointed not to start, and I don't mind that.
I think Ruth's got to be in the park from the beginning.
I think Ruth thinks that as well. I think Ruth thinks that too.
Aye. Could I just give a shout out to folk and then I'll go and let other people in?
Of course, Ian, you carry on, mate.
You're not going to sing, are you?
No, I'm not going to sing.
Okay,
I've gave singing up. That's it. I'm just going to talk to
the best news I've had all day.
I've put my guitar and violin and all that in the bin now. That's me finished. I've resigned as a singer. Just a big hi to RFC, Kim, Dixie, Scottish Lad, Malky, Jim Rose was on, but I think he's away home now.
Right.
No way home, but he's staying in Canada. He's off. And just everybody else that knows me on the
Big shout
channel.
out to all the community on Facebook. Facebook as well, and YouTube. So Ian chats. It's always great to hear Ian and all the people on there. We appreciate.
Right, and again, I'll say I apologise for earlier on.
Don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry. You take
No,
it easy, mate. All right.
Right, no problem. Thanks a lot. Right, take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, Ian. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Ian.
I think we'll be joined by Angus. Evening, Angus.
Good evening, Ox, and good evening, Bridge, and good evening, Southside. How are you all?
Good evening, Angus. Well, good, mate.
Good, Angus.
Well, you're probably the same as me. I was very happy watching the game yesterday, and I thought it was one of our better performances, especially in the second half of the season. But I wanted to touch on something, and I know Southside was at the game, but I could not believe the amount of empty seats at Ford Park, and the fact that Rangers had such a huge following. I think a following was probably cut from what it normally is. And I'll just give you, I'm quite like my statistics, okay? The Fir Park capacity is 13,667. Now, the capacity yesterday for the game was 7,770, which meant there was just under 6,000 empty seats at the game yesterday. And just a very sort of rough mathematic equation that 6,000 times, I think it was £30. Outside we will tell us how much the tickets were, but yeah, rough. That's just £180,000 that Motherwell threw away and couldn't be bothered getting any money for. And I just find it very strange.
Before I bring Southside in, has a concession ticket, Angus?
Don't you believe that, Angus? No, Angus, you're spot on, mate. There was a wee bit left in the south stand, right? Obviously, Rangers were coming out of there, so they had to leave a bit empty. Obviously, where the team came out, where Motherwell and Rangers would normally have come out, there was people in there, but it wasn't very busy. And normally Rangers get a huge chunk of that. So if you took the people that was in that stand and took them out, and even took some people from behind the goal at the other end and put them in the long stand, you'd have certainly got bears in the stadium, Angus. You're spot on. But for some reason, Motherwell chose to do what they've done.
Southside, if they're limited in attendance because if you stay under the 10,000, you don't need the passports. The COVID
Probably, I would have imagined so. That COVID passport thing might have been a thing that they could still have upped it a bit more, Angus. Don't get me wrong, they certainly could have. But obviously they've set out their allocation for what they could, but they could certainly have made more tickets available to Rangers, certainly.
I just find it...
It's a bit galling, Angus, when you see all the empty seats and you know that there's thousands trying to get tickets for a match with all the empty seats there.
And to be honest...
Sorry, pal. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, to be honest, it's not just Rangers fans. I didn't know it was the other fans from the other side of the city recently up at Batodry, and I was hearing stories about them actually putting money in the air, offering £100 for a ticket, desperate to get in. And teams with big away supports should be encouraged, not treated like lepers.
I mean, to be fair, that team from another city, their seats, there was as many empty seats as there was full seats on Saturday at the Egg to see the wee guy take a dive and cheat. But the pure heart, if you look at economics, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Scottish football, it kills itself from the inside out, mate.
I think, pal, it's somewhere along the line, somebody's made a deal with each other, different clubs, and they're agreeing to a certain extent. Let's stop Rangers fans going to see the games. That's what I feel. In a big way, they're trying to do that. Southside goes to nearly every away game, so he'd be able to tell you a lot more about it. But to a stadium like Fir Park, as you said, it takes 15,000 or more than 15,000. That's the maximum they've got in the stadium. Then that's what it should be registered for. Simple as that. The
Well,
FPFL.
you've got to factor in COVID, mate.
Oh yes, I'm saying that. So they work it out for that. That's not the 10,000. They're working it from 10,000. That's what they're doing. But they're limiting their stadium to 10,000, then factoring in COVID, and that tip gets them down to below 8,000. That's what they're doing. I'm not being funny. That's exactly what they're doing.
It's crazy when you watched that yesterday. It runs it as a spectacle. If you look at the Simon game a couple of weeks ago, it was only a week ago, Angus, and it was a mere spectacle because the ground was full.
I personally don't go to away games anymore. I made a decision a long time ago. But I do respect the fact that people want to go and want to watch the team. And, I would say, why aren't the authorities taking charge? And I understand the COVID implications of under 10,000, but surely someone like, say, Neil Doncaster or Maxwell at the SFA.
Oh, sorry, I started
stop laughing.
When you said Neil Doncaster there. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. But you would think people in positions of power would want to try and do the best for the people who get paid a lot of money for. I know Doncaster's nearly £500,000 a year. It's possible.
£500,000. That's a lot of money to me, but it's not a lot of money to Bridgeman.
Is that what you're meaning, Angus? You mean that you would think the authorities would try and do something good for Scottish football? Is that what you're meaning?
I know I'm a bit sort of naive that way, but I would have thought that it would have been in their interest to try and attract more people to come and watch a certain product and eventually make more money. But it seems, I think Oxford did it. Scottish football hates itself. They want to as little as possible.
I like the new initiative that Hearts have started. I don't know if he's picked up with it. They're playing some nice music to get people back to the ground again. I like that.
I heard that. I guess it's just like Kilmarnock took a decision and they decided to give one stand. You used to get the two, and they made a decision to give one stand, and then look where they are now.
I would have a lot.
Hold on, Southside. They made that decision, and they allowed their manager to stand up and say, "Bye-bye, Rangers. Bye-bye."
Well, they got it right. They did say bye-bye.
Absolutely. And that's bad for them, and it's still bad for them. Massive mistake. Massive mistake. And you know what? I don't know if they're going to get up again this season. Probably could, but I think the mistakes they have made are there for everybody to see. They've got to watch their P's and Q's, and that's for sure, because they go right all the way down.
Right, okay. Right, well, been joined by Liz. Evening, Liz.
Good evening, all. How are you?
What's your language now?
Good to hear you back again.
Oh, I'm back again. I'm just back to say, well, wasn't that a great performance on Sunday from our team?
Southside.
Aye, very refreshing. Great. It was a great result, and with some players like Sakala coming to the fore, been waiting for his chance and certainly delivered. And Stevie Davis back with a good performance in the middle of the park. Scotty Arfield coming in. So, it was all positive on Sunday.
Brilliant. I was going to say as well, I get notifications through my phone from the social media, and it's beginning to annoy me. I don't know about yourselves, but it's beginning to annoy me, like when Tav and Goldston, they get blamed for the mistake, but you could blame anybody for that mistake yesterday. And they were saying, "Oh, get Tav off." Yeah, why? I mean, a game of football is 90 minutes plus, not 5, not 10, and yet he comes and he scores equaliser. So let's just know if some fans should just wait till 90 minutes before they start saying anything about the players. What do you think?
Oh, what's some questions, Liz?
There you go. Put it to you. Come on.
Right, okay. Right, I'll go first. I think people, the emotions of the game get to people when they use social media to voice their frustrations, and sometimes you can look rather foolish. Not that it's ever happened to me, but it's happened to Bridgeman a lot. Bridgeman?
I think that when you watch both our captain and the vice captain 2 weeks in a row, or maybe even 3 weeks in a row, making silly mistakes at the back, indecisive mistakes, and they cost us goals, then I think somewhere along the line, the fans can't be too wrong if they turn around and say, well, we need to do something about that. But yesterday, let's talk about yesterday. Tavernier was outstanding after that. Outstanding. He gathered his game up. Goldson did the same. Gathered their game up. The things that Tavernier brought to that game yesterday, 2 assists and a goal, you can't get that. That's magic. That's just magic. And that's the kind of stuff he was doing for us for years. And he's not done very much at this season. But now he's doing it. So I don't think we want to turn around and say, let's get them off the park. Although my footballing side, when I talk about it, I think, I don't think we should be playing the two together, are so close together. Just to keep them away. Coaches, get them apart because they're causing each other a bit of hassle. However, as I said, we turned that game over and we turned that team over. Big style yesterday.
Southside? Social media?
Well, I don't do social media, mate. I'm not on any of that, so I don't see or really read it. But it affects it. It's out there, and the players like to use it, and the fans can use it, and sometimes it's where they see a lot of the stick and a lot of the criticism. But I think we've been a wee bit critical sometimes on here. But Tav, he's your captain. You've got to look at what he's done, what he does, what he brings to the team. Patterson. There's a lot of people come on the show and say drop Tav just because he's had a couple of bad games and they wanted the young boy in. But young boy's still got a lot to learn and he will get his time and he is developing and he will get game time this year. So for me, Tav proved yesterday that we played him through a bad spell. We stuck with it. And yesterday, what a goal he scored, and then what a cross for Sakala for the second one before half time. And that's the difference. He delivered yesterday for us, although he hadn't been playing so well. But I had him and Goldson at fault for giving away the corner. After that, you could pick one or two at fault for the goal. But on the plus side, we scored 6 yesterday, and that's what matters, and that's what really matters.
And we have crowd to please, Liz.
Well, this is only my opinion, remember. Yeah, I think sometimes, for example, yesterday, when the first goal was in, I'm going to get a lie, I thought, but to be fair, I said to my daughter and my granddaughter, I said, we're going to win this game because I said the way we're playing, it was a better performance than I've ever seen this season. And I mean, I've never ever criticised a player as such, but I do say something needs to be done because I didn't think the team was actually bonding. But when you seen goals been scored and when you seen the players yesterday all going over and the big celebrations and even Goldson having it, I just thought it was amazing. I just wondered if I did say the last game, I think there's better things to come, and I hope after yesterday's performance we can put a performance up on Thursday and all the other games that they play.
Angus, you want to come in on that?
I would have to say, Lisbury's a very good point, and I think she's spot on. I probably was one of these people that was calling for Tav to be subbed and get Patterson on, but it made me eat my words in the second half because he put in a real captain's performance and a fantastic goal, fantastic assists, and I thought his actual performance in the second half, his crossing and his getting up and down was excellent. And yes, he made me eat my words, and a very good display from the captain yesterday.
I think sometimes we've got to watch. Sometimes, I'll maybe be accused of it with Hadji, but we've all got what players we like, we dislike, we favour, and sometimes you're maybe too critical towards them, but I think it's only because we care Southside, isn't it?
Aye, mate, it's because we love the club and we do care, but we always want the best, mate. That's what we keep saying on here. We demand the best and we want the best, but we don't feel as if... see the thing about Rangers players, I just want them to try. Run your heart out and shows that you're putting effort in. Angus, no everybody's going to play well in a game, but show me commitment, heart and fight for that jersey. And then you can come off the park and they'll say, well, do you know what? It wasn't one of your best games, but you certainly put an effort in, and that's what determines me for certain Rangers players. And Hadji, I don't think he's a 90-minute player, but he's young, he's still developing, and he sees passes that other players don't see. He is a gifted player.
So, Sid, when you say that, do you mean he's an impact player or no a starter, or do you mean only playing patches?
I think because the system we play, Ox, we've talked about it, you know. I think if you played a 4-2-3-1, for talking sake, and had you as your one in the middle of that three, say you had Kent on the left and pick somebody on the right, anybody doesn't matter, say Aribo, aye. So that's your three in your 4-2-3-1. If you've got Hadji in that middle, then I think he sees everything in front of him. He can shoot for 20 yards, he can put the passes through, he can let play, you know, he's got that. But in the role that we play him, sometimes you're not going to get that 90 minutes, but he can open things up and he sees things, and in Europe he gets a bit more space for us and he usually makes it happen. So, but everybody's got their own thoughts on players, mate, and what can make them tick, but I just find that he said himself, he's a number 10, that's where he sees himself, you know.
Okay, mate, all right, fair comment. Angus, last word for you, mate, before we bring in Jordan. Give us your last word of the night, mate.
I would say that Scott Arfield as well. I'd like to say what a very good performance he put in, and he typified how we pressed more and we were more energetic, and he was getting forward. And credit to him. I know he's just turned 33 this week, but a very good performance from him.
All right, mate. Always good to hear from you, Angus. You look after yourself, mate.
Okay, take care, guys.
Speak to you soon, all right?
Okay.
Cheers, Angus. All the best, pal. Stay safe.
Good to hear from you, Angus.
Right, I think we've been joined by Jordan. Evening, Jordan.
Evening, panel. How you doing?
Hi, Jordan.
Good, mate. Good, mate.
How you doing, Jordan?
What's on your
Bad,
mind?
guys. Well, obviously, I was kind of at the game yesterday. I went the game yesterday. And for the first, obviously, when Muller got the first goal, I was thought I'm improved right here, the defence. But, oh, wow. I was glad how much they proved me wrong after yesterday. I was absolutely over the moon at full time after that result. And but the biggest thing I loved yesterday was Sakala. I was absolutely over the moon for him. And I think he's going to be a good player for us in the future, boys. What do you think?
Your team's a wee bit, shall we say, left field. But I think you made the point that we'd had to change things. So maybe Stevie G was listening to you here.
Aye, he was, aye. I was giving him instructions.
Jordan, he was obviously listening to me, right? Because I picked that team, right? And that's it, Jordan. There's nothing else to be said, pal.
He couldn't resist that, Jordan. He couldn't resist it.
I could show you. If I read the text messages, you wouldn't believe them. Jordan, look, we didn't play well on Wednesday. We made a couple of changes. It worked, and we look as if we might have got a bit of confidence. Maybe Wednesday not gone so well for us might have galvanised the team, mate. There you go. There's a rationale for you.
Aye, definitely. I think after yesterday, there was something. I was in the pub with some of the boys catching up. I thought that this is where we should now be turning the corner. This is maybe the kick up the backside we kind of needed. And apart from conceding that goal yesterday, which was shocking again, once Tav scored that absolute screamer, I thought, right, there's only going to be one winner here, and that's us, unless we make another absolute total mess up. But once Sakala scored that second goal, we're going mental. I knew then it would push on, and someone was telling me we'd kind of run riot, and my God, we did that. Some of the goals were tremendous yesterday, but overall, we were more attacking, I thought. None of the slow nonsense building up. Thought we were more attacking and quite fast-paced, which have been missing a lot of games this season. That was one of the big positives for me yesterday, to be fair.
Aye, Liz, we played particularly well in the second half. Obviously, we went down to 10 men, but after about 15, 20 minutes, even up to then, we were playing really well, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. I think, as I said to you before, I think we just need a wee bit of that time. And I think after yesterday's performance, I think you're going to see them playing. I'm not saying that we've got to think of the players as well, but what I was going to ask is, do you think that Alfie and Passion are better playing alongside one another, or would you prefer Roof and Passion? I don't know. I like my Alfie, so just watch what you're saying now.
Right, okay. I think with that blend you had yesterday, and I'll go to Southside then Bridge, and then we'll bring Jordan in. With that blend in the front for you, Alfie being strong, Joe Aribo having the twinkle toes, and Sakala having the pace and the finishing, you've got a lot of blend there, and these defences something to worry about. Southside.
Aye, I think Sakala yesterday gave us the pace that normally Kent would give us for that side. You know, when he was being playing on the left, Alfie is normally the talisman for us, controls the defenders and gets set about them. And obviously with Joe Aribo on the right, he's got a wee bit of pace, but he's also got the skill and the craft. So it was a good mix. Roof on the right, I thought Roof had a poor game in the midweek against Aberdeen. You know, I thought the whole game he wasn't very good. They've linked up a couple of times together. Roof, obviously, if he's in the box with Alfie, if you're putting the one ball in, then obviously, you'd be wanting Roof in there. But I think yesterday he got it right, and I think Roof will probably have to wait his turn to see when he'll get in. But I don't know if they can really play together, to be honest. I don't feel it as if they can play together all the time. I wouldn't like to see the combination.
Bridgeman?
Much like Southside, when you start to sort of break it down there, my personal preference would be to get a run of games for both Morelos and Roof. And they're the two, at the time when I said this, they'd be the two target men. But that performance by Sakala yesterday makes you change your mind. And you wonder where you're going to fit Roof in. Maybe even if you go to what I would think would be the worst selection, would be play Sakala and Roof. I wouldn't want that at all. But we've been proved wrong before. Both players are a wee bit faster than Morelos, by the look of things yesterday. But my goodness gracious, that boy Sakala has got a lot of pace, and he's no fear. He wants to shoot and score goals all the time. And I dare say that's what the Roof's forte is as well. So I take my hat off to our manager. He's got a hell of a job in his hands, seeing where those players are going to fit in, because all three players like to score goals, and they like to score goals big style. And I would love to see Morelos always our number 9 for me. And he gives a lot, other than a striking job, he gives a lot to the game. But maybe we really need to have somebody sitting up there, him or Morelos, in this case Sakala. Stick the two up front, and you might see a big difference. You might.
Jordan?
I pretty much can echo the same there. You never rule out Alfred because he's just a prolific goal scorer at the end of the day. Even if he's not playing well, he scores very important goals for us. Obviously Roof as well. He's a better skill about him as well. Good goal scorer. Sakala's got a lot of pace, proved that yesterday, not a problem at all. So it's always kind of hard it'll take time to get an established up-front partnership basically, but what's going to interest me is when when Ken and Jack come back, you know, who would be the best supporting forward team when they, because obviously Ken's got a lot of pace up front, so is Sakala. So is it going to be Roof and Morelos, or is it going to be Morelos and Sakala, Sakala and Roof? I just don't know, but I've got to say that's quite an exciting thing to think of. I don't know if you'd agree with me.
Aye, but I don't know if you can make that forward planning, because first of all, Kent has to get back and get fit, and then you don't know what's round the corner for other players, suspension, injuries as well. But when everybody's fit, he's got a problem. What I'm going to do is, Bridgeman, I've been asked to play this for you, the people, the public, and Rangers Radio want you to learn this for tomorrow night. This is for you, Bridge.
Waka waka zamina mina sangalewa anawam zamina mina waka waka zamina mina sangalewa anawam zamina mina waka waka zamina mina sangalewa anawam zamina mina waka waka zamina mina sangalewa anawam Django Django zamina mina sangalewa anawam Zamina mina, waka waka, zamina mina zangalewa, anawa Django, Django, zamina mina zangalewa, anawa Zamina mina, waka waka, zamina.
Waka waka,
That's for you to learn.
Zambina,
Liz, you're welcome. Come on if you want to do a duet with Bridge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, no. I've had enough of that song lately.
Brilliant. Well, that was a good try anyway, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, a really good try. So that's me, had my try. No more tomorrow nights.
I've also been told that Southside, me and you got it wrong. Drum Chapel in Castlemont, the first badge you got in the BB was first aid because you got a lot of practice.
Oh, dear.
That was for Mr. S. Skipper.
He's probably got a point.
By the way, he knows that because he's from there. He's from that side of the city.
You know. But, Liz, if everybody's fit and everybody's playing well, that's all we can hope for, huh?
Yep, that's spot on, as you're saying. But I actually think, after, as I say, yesterday's performance, I think the team is... They might slip up. They're not going to be perfect in every game, but we would like to see them scoring. Now, they've actually scored more than 2 goals. We got their 6 goals yesterday, and I can see our team getting better and better and better. But I have to say, the one person I am definitely missing is Mr. Holland. Because I get stick for him.
Well, I tell you what we're working on. Christmas is coming up. I'm trying to get you a life-size cutout.
Well, that would be a grand, you can. I get stick for him terrible, but he's been our best defender, and we can't deny it, can we? Really.
If we can't get you one of them, we'll see if we can get you wee George Corby.
That'll be fine. Oh, me. Never mind.
Or should I say, we'll get you a travel rug one.
Oh, yeah. I'll just come down there anyway, and I'll just say hello. I'm here. No, but be honest. I mean, I am absolutely delighted with our team's performance yesterday. So hopefully that's a start, and hopefully we can put a good performance on Thursday night as well.
I think you're right. I think Hollander might be the best defender in the club, and they miss him in certain games, Southside.
I like Hollander, and I know Bridgman likes him as well. Like the left-sided defender with the left foot, and he sticks his body on the line for you, and he's all heart. Some people think that he lacks a bit of pace, but I've not seen many players in Scotland run by him, so I like him, and we miss him a bit, and hopefully he'll be back soon, and maybe around about January time he might be back and ready to play for the Glasgow Rangers again.
Yep.
Not was his rehabilitation's gone well.
Yeah, they were saying that. I think once he gets back, I think I heard Stevie G saying that it was like about December that he was reckoning he would be back, but it'll probably be January before he gets back into training. But we can't fault Big Balogun either, because he's doing well. But I think Hollander reads the game better than Balogun, but that's only my opinion. So
I was a critical person of Balogun because he can't pass with his left foot, and I saw him yesterday, and he put 2 absolutely scintillating left foot passes down to Big Bassey. Fantastic. So I take all back.
Yeah,
I was wrong. But no, I say it. I like the boy. I like that boy Simpson. I think he's going to be a really good player for us. And I like the way he's just natural left-footed, and that's what we need. You need as many good natural left-footers in your team as you can get, because obviously to play that position,
I don't think we have any left-footers in our team, Bridge.
Different type of left-footer you're talking about. But you know what I mean. I think that the big Swede boy,
Hollander.
Hollander, I couldn't get the word. Philip Hollander. He gave us great balance. I felt anyway.
I don't think he's my best. If I'm being honest, Liz.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Aye, I like him. He's very strong, I think, and important player to the team. End of the day, I think as much as I like Balogun, I think Highlander just can sit in there and head him. And once we get him back, I think we'll probably see a difference again in, conceding less goals, which is what we've been doing recently far too often, which needs to kind of put to an end.
Aye, but I think you've seen the difference. We talked about that before, and I'm going to Liz down Southside. When you score goals, it takes the whole pressure off the defence. The scoring goals is a bigger problem for me. Liz, then Southside.
Are you speaking about Hollander again? Yeah. Yeah. I do, but I was just thinking back. In fact, I was just watching the goal last night because for Hollander against Celtic. Now that was just a fantastic header, wasn't it? It was just.
Let it go.
I know, but you can't. You just watch him and you just think, my God, he seems to temper the ball.
Obviously, you look at him. You look at him differently from we do.
I do that. I like him as a player.
Aye.
No.
Southside.
Any goal against the Tardellis is good, and the Bigden certainly was a cracking header. But at the end of the day, he defends well for you, and I like him. Like Bridget said, a player that can play the ball on the left-hand side. He's comfortable on that side. You're playing Balogun. Katic has done it in the past when he was there, and they're right-sided players playing on the left-hand side, So I like him, and I'm hoping we'll get him back soon. And I think when he comes back and he gets a few games under his belt, he'll get back to playing his usual self, and it'll make a big difference to our team. But I think we're just certain chances we've gave up this season. I just think last season we got away with it, and this year we're getting punished a bit more, But as long as we're scoring more at the other end, then we've got to be happy, and that'll win us the points and then bring us the trophies.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think we're getting punished correctly?
Well, we're getting punished, Bridge. I mean, if you're not defending, Bridge, last season, think about it, Rafe. Ross County had chances, Aberdeen had chances.
Yeah.
I mean, there was loads of games last season where we didn't get punished or McGregor made a good save 1-on-1, but there was plenty of games where we should have been behind and they never took their chances. So this year, teams are taking their chances, mate, and that's what's happening, no?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, but two goals Aberdeen scored. They couldn't.
Well, we helped him, obviously, with him, but Bridge, we've not been cut open too often, but I just think we're getting punished more than we did the year before, mate. That's all.
Yeah. Well,
I think goals change games, and if you think about the Hearts goal we lost, if we'd have got the second, third, or fourth, they might not have been up the park because obviously you suck the life out of them, and that's what happens when you score the goal. You take your chances. So, as much as and you'll not lose the game. If you keep a clean sheet to win the game, you need to score goals. Liz, then Jordan.
Yeah, I agree. I just think we have been lacking in scoring goals recently, but after yesterday's performance, I think the scoring of the goals will come back. But we just need to defend as well.
They both. Jordan.
I can't remember the last time a Scottish team scored a terrific goal against us, maybe apart from the St Mirren one, but even then again that was giving the ball away because Lapsley defensively has just been shocking, and the goals have dried up before yesterday. When Gerrard said it, he goes, it's an identity crisis. Well, I think we found what we're like last season. It was last season's team that finally turned up yesterday. So hopefully we now know what we need to do and what we need to fix, and that is crucial going forward because I've no doubt that they, over at the East End, will drop more points. That's pretty much almost a guarantee because they're still rebuilding. We need to learn from this, and yesterday take away every single positive we can get and move on and keep winning and hopefully go more clear. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, we're actually a point further clear than we were this time last year at the top of the league. There's a
Aye,
start for you.
that's right. That's right.
There's a start for you. But, aye, look, we are critical, Liz. We don't sometimes mean it, but we're just passionate. But we've got to, when things go well, we've got to say we played well, and we did yesterday.
Yep, we did. But now, do you think it'll be the same team for Thursday that we played yesterday, or do you think Bourne will be back?
Well, what I'll do with that, I'll take you to our expert who's got 1 in 57, right? Southside.
Yeah, I was like Meatloaf a couple of weeks ago too at a 3U. Don't you calm down? Do I think it'll be the same team? No, Borna will come back, I think. And I think there might be one or two other tweaks, but it's too early for me to think about it now, to be honest. I couldn't pick a team right now, I really couldn't.
If Borna's fit, he's back in, is that what you think?
Aye, anyway, I think Bassey will come out for Borna.
Right, so that's your back four. It looks as if watching yesterday, Davis plays, Kamara plays, and then you've got, is it Lundstrom or Scotty Arfield?
Aye.
Yeah.
I mean, see, to be honest, he could pick the same team and just make one change. But I think Hadji might come into the team and...
Too far?
I know, that's the problem. I'd probably stick my neck out and say Arfield.
Okay. Jordan, do you want me to ask you your team?
Aye, pretty much the same team. Maybe I think he's right. Barisic will come back in for Bassey. And I think I've got to say, Davis yesterday, a lot of people said recently I think he was kind of getting to his end, but I'll tell you something, I thought it was tremendous yesterday. So I would play just about pretty much the same team, but maybe Barisic coming back in over Bassey. So the same team yesterday, except Barisic in for Bassey. I think that would be my team.
All right. I think Bassey's done okay the last two games, if I'm being honest.
Aye, he has. I just think Barisic has got more kind of European experience for us. Good to that Bassey is. Not saying anything bad about him at all, but I just think that's when you kind of Barisic taking a step up a wee bit, and I'm sure he'll do that.
I wouldn't have changed my team at all.
All right, okay.
I thought the defence was very good. I'd keep Bassey in, I would.
All right. Liz, what's your thinking?
I think Bourne will definitely be back. But Bassey's been immense, but for Europe, I think Bourne will be back. But I don't think there'll be much changes apart from Bourne. But that's only my opinion, but that's what I think.
You could be right. It could be interesting. Obviously, we've not had any feedback if anybody's getting any knocks or anything Southside.
No, we haven't, mate. Like we're saying, that you could keep Sakala in the team if you're looking for pace in that. It'll depend on the game plan, mate. Hadji usually plays in Europe, so I think you look at the fitness, obviously, of certain players. You'll maybe look to see how Arfield is. Arfield could easily play on Thursday, but I think you'll maybe take a stock of their fitness in that, and you'll pick a team for there. And obviously, what the game plan is, you said it's a must-win game for us, so that's what we're looking for. Get out there, be positive, hopefully play well, and take your chances when they come along, and try and certainly keep the defence tight at the back and don't concede.
I've just been pointed out to us. I just want to ask you this, a complete change of subject, but factual. We know that there's an agenda out there with the press, and Bridgman, you're not allowed to answer this because your wife's warned me because of your blood pressure, right? Right. We know there's an agenda out there, and we've witnessed it, and some of the things that's been on, we know, and how they all come out at this one time when there's a story breaks. Anti-Rangers. Now, there was a disgraceful scenes on and after part at a certain place in the site of Glasgow on Saturday. One with racism, which we'll leave that for them to sort out. The other was on the field of play. And if that had happened with one of your players, that would have been front and centre. In fact, I'd go as far to say Southside. It would have knocked Greta off the front pages of the media. Yeah.
Aye, 100%, mate. You know, I seen it later on, and I seen the stadium going done. You know, it was disgusting, mate. But I mean, that's what you expect for him. You know, they always cheated, never defeated mob. You know, that's what you expect for him. And then obviously, like you said, a delegate was there and he heard something that he's a legend. So, aye, disgraceful, mate, and they certainly be making all the headlines. It's a bit similar to the St Mirren chairman, mate. That's went quiet and all. If that'd been a Rangers director, I mean, you seen the state of the carry-on when somebody tried to fabricate a song that when the players were celebrating in the dressing room. You seen how long that took and how long they were battering that out, mate. So, aye, it's went quiet out there. They're not saying a word about it. But if it'd been us, mate, it'd certainly be making all the newspapers and the radio stations would be in turmoil.
The media would have been all over it, Liz.
Yeah.
Folks.
Yeah. I just think it's shocking. I think your team just gets all the headlines that you win, and yet other teams, and ever they get off with it. I'm just shocked at the reason what Ken. I mean, if you think back to the things that Kamara got, he got off. The players got off with. I just think it's shocking. I think they've got it in for your team, and the Ibis have had. So there's not much we can do about it, is there?
Just keep winning. But Jordan,
keep winning.
We can see right through the press's agenda now.
Sometimes I know about it, and I've got a pal who's saying the dark, and he supports the dark side, and even played this guy's quite bad, by the way.
You've got two things. First of all, you've got a pal, and also he supports who?
The dark side.
Right, okay, carry on.
The mob feasting. I meant to say, and even he was going like, he goes, "Oh, that's embarrassing to be," and I goes like, "Well, it is embarrassing because you were absolutely slaughtering us in mid last week for the penalty incident, and then all of a sudden it's went quiet." But the media are the virus in this country, as far as I'm concerned. They try to knock us down any inch of the fact that a team's up for playing Rangers and there's nothing said about Celtic or anything like that. They bump it up every single time. It just doesn't surprise me anymore. I still get angry when I read things like that, to be fair, but it just doesn't surprise me anymore, the media in this country. They really are a virus.
Don't read it. Don't click. Don't buy it. That's the best way. Right, Bridge, I'll let you come in because I know it's a subject very close to you.
Like I have to say, it's really difficult. Nobody is going to win on this. Nobody, particularly us. And we know through bad times, we've watched it all happening and wondered why nobody in the press would come out and say a good word about Rangers when we're getting all the good words about them across the city. And it's still to this day the same. I can ask you a question and I want to give us an honest answer. How can any company, a communications company like the BBC, how can they have a vendetta against a club like Rangers for, 6 years now? How can that possibly be? Without attempting to smooth the waters in any way, shape or form. How can that possibly be? And not only that, they're supported by the powers that be that run Scottish football. Because they're not bothered. They're not saying no.
Back to the point. What about what happened on the other side of the city yesterday?
The other side of the city, I haven't seen all of it, I must admit. What I did see was, I saw the wee fella push him. It's that wee segment on one of these tweets. So you see him, I don't know what was said, and he pushed the big fella, and the big fella was held back by one of their players, and he reached out and he smacked him, and it looked like he smacked him in the back of the head, and he fell, fainted, and holding his face.
What we needed there was a good first aid man on the pitch.
A BB aid man, absolutely. He's got medals. I've got the medals. That's just scandalous what's going on over there. It's just scandalous, and everybody, the papers are just ignoring it. There's nothing happened. It's never been reported. I see when they missed the penalty.
I've never seen a penalty game like that. I get it. It's a foul in the field of play. But if you send the boy off for that, you've got to send the other player off. But enough about that. Anyway. Well, Liz, we've reached that time of the evening. Liz, always great to hear from you. Hope you enjoyed it again.
Oh, thank you very much to you all, and it was really nice. And hopefully, I might not be able to phone in before Thursday if I've got, because I'm babysitting up. But hopefully, my team will have a big win on Thursday, and I'll probably maybe phone
Listen,
in.
if you've got to phone in, I can send Bridgeman round to do the babysitting. Don't you worry.
Oh, that's good. She's a little madam. I tell you, she's only 2 years old, and when Alfie doesn't score, she goes mental and us. So she's a bit like her nana.
Thanks, Liz. Speak to you soon.
Thank you. Speak to you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Night.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers, Jordan. Always good to hear from you, pal.
Pleasure, guys. Always will be. And keep it going for the Rangers.
Absolutely, pal.
All the best, Jordan.
Southside,
All the best,
mate,
guys. Take care.
You have a safe trip, mate. Yeah.
Aye, mate. Aye, thanks very much. Looking forward to
this
it.
list here for Fox. It says Smirnoff and Golden Virginia and any magazines you can get for Denmark.
Very good. Very good.
I'll try my best.
All right, okay. All right. It's over to you, Bridge.
Well, what can I say? Well, a great show tonight again. Once again, Oxford, well done. And Southside, thank you very much for being my partner on this. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one is are building up to this massive, massive game on Thursday night. Massive game. Biggest game of our season coming up. So everybody get it going and keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us, and so do they. Keep it going.
That quick poll we had whether that was cheating going on that side of the side is 100% yes. 100% yes. Cheat. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks to Bridge. Thanks to Southside. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Everybody joins us tonight. Great calls tonight. Stay safe. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. We'll be joined by the one and only Linda. Take it away. Old School Blue.
How many years ago, my boys, I left old Glasgow town. I followed the pull of the Yankee land and here I've settled down. Although I miss old Bridgeton Cross and my friends so near and dear, what I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. You can talk of California where the sun shines all the year. You can bomb about your Broadway light so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer, if we only had the Rangers over here. For they're the finest team in all the land, and I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. We're the boys who fear no noise, my lads, and I mean that's quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. You can buck up California where the sun shines all the year. You can bum about your Broadway life so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer, if we only had the Rangers over here. For they're the finest team in all the land, and I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. We're the boys who fear no noise, my lads, and I mean this quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. You can talk of California where the sun shines all the year. You can bomb about your Broadway life so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer, if we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had the Rangers over here.